brush here. This is from Princeton. It's from the Princeton Select series. A chisel brush is just a brush that has a little bit of a slant at the top. I'm actually going to switch to a slightly bigger one. You wouldn't think I'd be using a brush this big for this kind of background, but here we are. And I'm just going to go in here. And also I will say, I will warn you in advance because I have not like practiced this in any way. I've painted a lot of water, but I haven't specifically painted this water. And every time I pick up a chisel brush, of which I have several, I'm always like, okay, now's the time to use a chisel brush. And then I'm like, I can't make it work. So we'll see how this goes. But the nice thing about this is once I load it up with paint, it gets very flat. I'm going to try to keep my face out of this. And so basically, I just want the small implication of marks here. Yeah, that might actually work. And I'm just using this sideways. I'm not using this as like doing any like proper chisel-y things with it, which would be making like a very dramatic mark that's bigger on one side than the other. So this is probably hard to see, so I'm going to try to keep this quick. And the other thing that's happening about the reason I thought to put the ultramarine down is because I was mixing it into that orange, and I was like, okay, there's going to be a little bit of this ultramarine kind of everywhere in this painting, in this water, which I believe I said out loud and didn't just think to myself. And then, you know, if you see that kind of tone under everything, I could mix it individually into every color that I made, but why not just sort of lay it down and work on top of it? And that way it'll mix itself unevenly, which is actually what I want. That's actually what I'm seeing in the image. So like now whenever I recharge my brush and touch it to the canvas, the first marks are a little more orange and then it fades out a little bit, and that creates a really nice natural effect. One thing about having the tape down is you have to remember that when the tape is not down, you do not have, if you don't make any kind of line at the edge, you're not going to have one. So that can be great. There can be a lot of like implied edges that way. But here I want to make sure I'm actually working some of this orange really right underneath that, that tape to be sure that when I pull it away, it doesn't all just sort of fade off.